today, and session about coronavirus. Okay, let's start. I want to start because I don't want to waste your valuable time. Now it is about almost 4:30 now. Now I want to ask Mr. Tom Gilpatrick the time in the USA. Mr. Gilpatrick, what time is it exactly in the USA now?
Well, I'm in the western part of the USA, so
Western
it's
part.
6:30 in the morning. If I were in New York, it would be 9:30.
9:30. So there are how many hours distance?
Between Coachella and where I live in Oregon, 10 hours.
10 hours. All right. All right. Okay. Sorry. I want to give the microphone to first Mr. Yilber Aliyu from Kosovo. Mr. Yilber Aliyu, sorry.
Thank you. Do you hear me, please?
Okay, sorry.
Do you hear me?
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I hear you. Do you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you. I can hear you. How are you? I hope you are fine.
Good. Good. Thank you. I hope also that you are fine.
I'm fine. Thank you so much. Okay. If you are ready, you can start your presentation.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome again.
I apologize because I am in another workshop with ministry. We are working to drafting the new law for employment agency because I work also in the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare, and I will be here for 5 up to 10 minutes if you can.
Okay, no problem. We can wait for you for the second speaker after another guest. Okay. Now let's listen to first Mr. Gilpatrick from the Portland State University, USA. Okay.
Do I have the ability to do slides or share slides, or how does that work?
Okay. Okay. No problem. No problem.
I don't know how to, where do I go to share?
Mr. Gilpatrick, there are 3 dots on the upper right corner of the page. There are 3 dots. If you click there, you will see
device settings, show meetings, enter screen, background. I don't see share. It's better if we have slides, right? I can send maybe to you. I don't know.
Mr. Off, could you help me? Could you help us about the sharing the screen? Mustafa Hocam, ekranı paylaşma noktasına yardımcı olur musunuz Tom hocamıza?
Just a minute. Okay. Please try again, dear Tom, please.
Okay.
Can you see arrow icon on bottom of screen? Bottom screen, arrow icon.
On the arrow icon on the bottom of the screen.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I see. Okay. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll try to be quick because I'm using too much time here. So thank you very much for inviting me to this conference. Again, as usual, I wish I was in Kojali. It's been more than a year since I've been there, so I'm missing everything. My area is marketing, and within marketing, I study retailing and shopping behavior. So what I just wanted to present was what I think are some of the changes in retail shopping, and then focus on changes from COVID-19. So major forces today that I think are influencing consumer shopping are these, and I think they all interact with each other. So, new forms of business, new ways. I was surprised to see that Walmart is live streaming on TikTok now. That's pretty much a major change from a couple of years ago. Technology is in everything, and then consumer behavior, again, because of technology, new businesses, and importantly, COVID. So 6 areas that we see are changing in shopping because of COVID. I'll just review these as an example. One is the economy. Consumers across the world, and my talk is focused mostly on America, have adjusted their spending in interesting ways. One is that you expect people in short term to reduce their spending on certain items. And I have data, and I can attach some data if someone is interested on how consumers have changed their spending. But discretionary items, are postponed for many customers. But also, I think in interesting ways that if you think of Veblen, the economist Thorsten Veblen, and luxury purchases, even people whose incomes were not hurt, cut back, and maybe some economic theory is that they didn't need to spend as much because the people on the bottom end suffered more, so they didn't really, the distance between them and others with respect to luxury increased. So interesting. So basically, differential impact on spending given employment, income level. In America, probably 20–30% of the population, everything is fine. 50% of the population suffer with income. And then what I find very disturbing is that the richest 400 people in America have increased their wealth by more than $1 trillion over the last year. So differences in spending, how we spend, and then part of the respending, and this is for consumer goods. I do work in the grocery industry, is there's been a real shift towards home. Everybody has experienced lockdowns and things, so spending on the home, home repairs, yards, what we call the home buddy economy has grown greatly here. In fact, in America today, we're experiencing a boom in home sales. There's a shortage of supply. Home prices, home repair, lumber has skyrocketed. I talked to a friend last week. He spent $150,000 just for the lumber for a house he's building, which is like up 3–4 times where it was previously. So we see rebalancing spending in different categories. Pricing, stockpiling. We saw this initially. It was interesting with COVID first hit a year ago. About now, it was impossible to buy some staple items like hand sanitizer. I was reading this morning is that there's an enormous oversupply of hand sanitizers in America today. So there's been some supply chains ups and downs, supply chain reconfiguration. But one of the things that I think has become important is this sort of reassessing the concept of value. What's important? And value-based pricing is important for consumers. Less on super deals, everyday low price. Companies like Walmart have benefited greatly. Along with that is values. Values have become more important. Values regarding health, safety, quality assurances have been more important in consumer decision making, and that's related to how consumers look at brands. Much more concern about values and community have become important. So the criteria that consumers are using in making consumption purchases are taking an increasing share of value, are becoming less interested in price performance and increasingly include values about community. Origin, country of origin, and local origin preferences along the same way. This is kind of a value, but in America, we see a lot more focus on local and community, local brands. There's been an explosion of local brands here, national brands, international brands, particularly in the fast-moving consumer goods sector, have suffered. Local brands have built up a better position. Brand relationships, what's most important today, and this goes along with values, are things such as authenticity, trust, and empathy. If you look at what television advertisements have been most successful, are ones where brands have shown empathy towards consumers, towards residents. So being trustworthy, showing empathy has become much more important. And relationship with brands has changed for many consumers. Technology, clearly, I think across the world, but here is that the digital transformation has been kicked ahead, maybe 5 years, 10 years. So while we have been moving more towards a digital economy and digital shopping, those companies selling digitally have benefited greatly. In my world, year over year increases in digital sales for many retailers has been 100%, 200% or more in many cases. So consumers have, maybe because of necessity, have adopted or learned technology. Everybody knew about, lots of people were shopping online, but now because you're trapped at home, perhaps you're spending more time, you're trying new technologies. We see augmented reality, virtual reality, looking to become more and more important as consumers try new technology. New generations, like the young generation who are, have experience with games, certainly have experience with augmented and virtual reality, and we expect to see more of that in shopping behavior. And then what I wanted to sort of finish with are just some other effects that not only shopping, but that I see as important for marketing shopping, but bigger than that as well. Inequality. The COVID altered world has really highlighted the inequalities in our system. Inequalities in income, inequalities in access to the healthcare system. COVID-related death, illness is much, much greater among minority groups in America. It's much greater among the poor in America. The job, most people, such as myself, were able to move to, professors can do their work from home online, but if you're working in many other situations, you don't have that luxury. So many people, particularly in the hospitality industry, lost their jobs. We see real issues with respect to digital access. I mentioned the wealth increase among the very wealthy. In America, this is very frustrating for me. There's the political divide seems to keep increasing with different response to COVID. You know, many people feel that COVID is not real or a hoax, or wearing masks or getting the vaccine. So we have a problem with people not wanting the vaccine. And I think this also brings about us as faculty some real challenges for education. I know that in my classes, I think students have suffered, students are missing. We will go back to in-person education next fall. But I think COVID has changed forever how we shop, how marketers reach them, and how we live our lives. And that's kind of my quick presentation. So how do I get out of this? So how do I give up? Am I out?
You can wait and you can watch the Congress tool, or you can leave either. Thank you so much, Mr. Gilbert, Mr. Tom Gilbert. Thank you. You have given us some very valuable ideas and information about how COVID-19 affected all the classes in the society, especially the poor people have been affected very badly, and you have given some information in the USA in current situation. Thank you so much, and thank you very much for joining our Congress.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Aliyu, now, are you ready for the presentation? Shall I give you the microphone?
Yes. Do you hear me? It's okay?
Okay. Now you can start if you are ready now.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Ismail. My presentation is about the COVID-19 and the labor market in Kosovo. And first, I want to say it's my pleasure to be here today with you and to have the opportunity to discuss about this issue. I will discuss about the effect of pandemic situation on labor market. I will mention some general idea about the effect of pandemic situation in labor market in all countries. I will focus only in the lesson learning by other countries, which are the main trends and main factors which have affected in the labor market. As we can see, people may have less their employment, hiring of staff, and could have been cancelled or frozen. Unemployed people may have made a break in their job search for family reasons. Also, employed people may have reduced their working hours or simply stop it. On the main measure taken by almost all the world governments to avoid spreading the virus and protect workers is to promote works from home or teleworking. Also, we saw as a result of COVID-19, the jobs of tomorrow may be coming sooner than anticipated. Also, we saw the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development has found that a pandemic has affected almost all countries of the world and more than 50 million people worldwide. This statistic is for 2020. I think for 2021, this number is increasing. Seen as well, the pandemic has caused a massive risk in unemployment in the Western countries. Also, we saw the international empirical evidence show that employment services are on the most cost-effective active labor market intervention with aim to facilitating labor market transition for workers.
Sorry, Mr. Aliyu, sorry. If you have a presentation slide, you can share it on the screen, if you have, of course.
Okay, I don't have the presentation, but I will send the paper to.
Okay. Now go on. Okay, you can go on.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Also, we saw the emergency health crisis created by COVID pandemic has directly affected the labor market in almost countries all over the world. Movement restriction lead to drastic decline in business activities on the hand, and the complete shutdown of many industries has left many workers unemployed, like accommodation and food service, administrative and support service, transport, postal and warehousing, information, media, telecommunication, manufacturing, and others. We saw also the rate of economic inactivity and employment rate in Kosovo has been at high levels even before the pandemic, in particular youth unemployment, women unemployment, and graduate unemployment. Data from employment agency showed the number of job seekers increasing by 40 times in April. In the first month of 2020 alone, Kosovo has registered over 3,000 unemployed persons only for three months. Without a comprehensive economic recovery plan, the number of unemployed could reach in the coming months. In the paper, I will explain also some examples by other countries how the government has treated the situation with pandemic, and I will discuss about the experience from Western countries like United Kingdom, France, Germany, and from some other countries by Western Balkan economics like Slovenia and Croatia. Also in the paper I discuss and present the two packages which are adopted by government of Kosovo, the package for fiscal emergency and package for recovery plan, and also is the one research with unemployed job seekers and other partners. The main findings of my paper are the pandemic has a significant impact in labor market in Kosovo. Kosovo institutions have adopted one emergency package as well as the economic recovery package as a response to challenge produced by the pandemic. From the results of empirical research, we understanding that employers, workers, and employers considering that institutions have not done enough to support them in the time of pandemic. And also from a result of empirical research, we understand that more than 50% of respondents doesn't benefit from the package measures. I apologize again for my mispresentation because I am also in another workshop, but I just want to say some words about my presentation and my paper.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Aliyu from Kosovo.
Thank you
for your valuable opinions and your information from Kosovo. Again, like Mr. Tom Gilpert from the USA, Mr. Yilbar Aliyu talked about the inequalities and incapabilities of the people in Kosovo because of the pandemic results in the public. Thank you again, Mr. Aliyu. See you next time in our congresses again. Thank you very much, and give our greetings to Kosovo. Thank you. Now we are going to. Sorry, Mr. Aliyu.
No, I just want to say thank you very much from you. And I was also in 2013 in training in Gebze with Tuditak Tushide. I saw that name. It was a great training for leadership in 2013.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mr. Komitovic from Kyrgyzstan Now, can you hear me, Mr. Komitovic?
Amanbek.
Amanbek Komitovic, yes, from Kyrgyzstan. Now, okay, now we would like to listen to you if you are ready now.
Merhaba hocam.
Merhaba.
Demonstrasiya qilish kerak hozir. Dokladtın adı mesleki faaliyette iş kurumsal etikinin önemi. Ben Kırgızstanlı, Kırgızca doklad demonstrasiya qilish kerak de slaydты.
Tamam.
Son olup kaldı. Hocam göründü. Slide.
Henüz değil. Tamam. Tamam, şimdi göründü. Evet, başlayabiliriz. Başlayabilirsiniz. Bu son sayfa ama. Son sayfadasınız şu anda.
Так. Докладтын аты ошол кызматтык этикеттин кесиптик ишкерликтеги мааниси аталат. Коом кызмат адамдарынын жүрүм турумуна өзгөчө талаптарды коет. Ошондуктан жүрүм турумунун айрым эрежелерин, закондорун билүү кызматтык милдетти ийгиликти аткаруунун милдеттүү шарты болуп саналат. Башка адамдар менен карып катнаш кылууда өзүн туура алып жүрүүнү каалоо аздык кылат. Коомдо жана конкреттүү кесиптик чөйрөдө кабыл алынган сылык сыпайы жүрүм турум эрежелерин жакшы билүү, аны практикада колдонуу да зарыл. Жумушта өз ара мамиле түзүүнүн эки тиби кызматтык жана жеке адамдык мамиле түзүлөт. Албетте биринчи тип башкы болуп саналат. Себеби коллективдин ар бир мүчөсүнүн жогорку өндүрүш дисциплинасы, өз милдеттерин кынтыксыз сактоо, кабыл алынган чечимдерди аткаруу, ак ниеттүүлүк талап кылынат. Үстүртөн караганда кызматкерлердин ар бирине болгон жекече симпатиялары менен антипатиялары өндүрүштөгү ийгиликтерге таасир этпегендей көрүнөт. Бирок күн сайын иштеген жумушуңда моралдык, психологиялык атмосферанын маанилүү экени талаш туудурбайт. Ошол атмосферадан адамдардын маанайы, өзүнө ишеним сезими, өндүрүлгөн продукцияны тейлөөнүн сапаты көз каранды. Адистер белгилегендей, маанайы пасттык, нервоздук, эрте чарчоону пайда кылат. Катачылыктарды кетүүгө алып келет. Эгерде өз ара мамилелери жакшы абалда болгон бригадаларда дисциплинаны жумушчулардын 3% гана бузган болсо, коллективдеги ички мамиле жаман болгон жерде 38% бузушканы аныкталган. Кеп этикет боюнча адис Фармановская өзүнүн изилдөөсүндө жазуучу жана врач Зори Балаяндын мезгилдүү басмасында жарыяланган. Азыркы учурда врачтар ичара инфаркт эпидемиясы деген түшүнүктү колдонушат. Инфаркт инфекциялык оору эместиги жалпыга белгилүү. Бирок аны эмне үчүн эпидемия? Бирок акыл токтотуп маани берсек, эч кандай жаңылыштык жок экенин көрөбүз. Инфаркт деле инфекция сыяктуу бир адамдан башка адамга жугат экен. Болгондо да эч кандай микроб жана вирустарсыз. Ал жаман сөз, кылык жорук аркылуу, бири-бирибизге болгон мамиле аркылуу жугат турбайбы? Көбүнчөсү өзүбүздүн алсыздыгыбызды жашырып, азыр мода болгон жана көпчүлүккө анчалык түшүнүксүз стресс деген сөз менен актанабыз. Ар бирибиз эч бир кыйынчылыксыз эле болбос нерселерден улам келип чыккан ондогон стресстик кырдаалдарды эстей алабыз. Стресстик абалдын 80% кезекте турганда пайда боло тургандыгы эсептелип чыккан. Анын 20%-ин бюрократизм жаратат. Инфаркттын пайда болушунун чоң үлүшү моралдык психологиялык климаттын начар коллективдерге, бири-бирине кара ниеттик кылган, көрө албастык, бирин бири аңдуу, адамдын ар намысын кемсинтүү жана кордоо көнүмүшкө айланган жерлерге туура келет деген кооптоонун сөздөрүн мисал кылат. Жогорудагы автордун сөздөрүндө эч кандай жок. Себеби күндөлүк жашообуздагы чыр-чатактардын себептерин талдап көрсөк, көбүнчөсү эле алар майда барат нерселерден келип чыгат. Арзыбас нерселердин гегемониясы деген сөз колдонууга бекеринен киргени жок. Кээде ушул гегемониянын өзү жашоону таптаза уулантып таштайт. Айтмакчы, америкалык фирмалар өз кызматкерлеринин штатына психологдор менен социологдорду кошо алышты эчаттан бери эле колдонуп жүрүшөт. Алардын кызматынын жемиши коротулган чыгымдарды толук актоо менен бирге эмгектин натыйжалуулугун бир топ жогорулатып турат. Социологдордун пикири боюнча инженердин кызматтык ийгилигинин 90% аны адамдар менен кандай карап-катнашта болгонуна жараша көз каранды. Албетте, процент өтө эле жогору көрсөтүлүп калгандай. Бирок жумушта түзүлгөн ич-ара мамилелердин олуттуу маанисинен күмөн саноого негиз жок. Ушуга байланыштуу башка маалыматтар да кызыктуу сезилет. Көрсө, карап-катнаштардын бузулушунан улам жумуш убактысынын 15% жаңжалдарды териштирүүгө коротулат экен. Эмгек коллективдериндеги чыр-чатактардын 80% дегендегиси бири-бирин түшүнбөдөн, башканын ордуна өзүн коюп көрбөгөндүктөн, өзүнө ошол адамдын көзү менен карай билбегендиктен келип чыгат.
Teşekkür ederiz.
Этикеттин ролу абдан зор экенине бүгүн эч ким шек санабайт. Бул тууралуу Алтургай 20-жылдын башында дүйнөгө биринчи миллиардер болгон америкалык 1870-жылы өзүнүн жеке стандарт ойл компания нефть өндүрүш компаниясын негиздеп, кыска мөөнөттө АКШнын нефть өндүрүшүнүн 95%-ын көзөмөл алган Рокфеллер умение общаться с людьми, такой же покупаем же за деньги товар, как сахар или кофе. Я готов платить за это умение больше, чем какой-либо другой товар в этом мире деген пикирин билдирген. Сөз болгон себептердин улам азыркы кезде адамдар ортосундагы сылыктык сыпаалык. Биз улам ажардан суу көксөгөн жашообуздун эң зарыл талабы. Сыпайкерчилик элдин баралышы. Айнадаглар менен болгон карап-катнаш ар бир адамга дайыма ырахат алышы керек. Анткени этикеттин башкы милдети сылыктыкты сактоо. Бул эми философиялык түшүнүк. Этика боюнча сөздүк бул кубулушка адамдарды урматтоо, жүрүш-турушунун күндөлүк нормасы жана айланасында аларга мамиле кылуунун көрүнүш ыкмасы болуп калган кишинин жүрүш-турушун мүнөздөгөн моралдык сапат. Сылыктык этикеттин эң жөнөкөй талабы. Ал төмөкүлөрдү кучагына алат. Көңүл бөлүүчүлүк, жалпыга жакшылык каалагандыктын сырттан көрүнүшүн, муктаж бир адамга кызмат кылууга даяр туруу, кылдаттык, сыпайылык. Сылыктыкка карама-каршы нерселер болуп оройсуздук, оройлук, уятсыздык, адамдарга бой көтөрүшүктүү жана теңсиз менен мамиле кылууну көрсөтүп эсептелет деп аныктама берет. Эгерде этикеттин эң жөнөкөй талабы болгон сылыктын аркы бетин көрө алганыбызда, ошол беттен сөзсүз түрдө ар намыс деген сөздү окумак элек. Себеби сылыктык башка адамды урматтоонун формасы болсо, андан урматтоо өзүнө эле ошол инсандын ар намысына шек келтирүүнү талап кылат. Сылыктын каршысы болгон оройлук адамдын жанын кейитет. Адам өзү саасын ойлоп, көңүл алек болот. Мүнөздөрдүн сыйышпастыгы жаралат. Мунун баары тең эмгекке болгон жөндөмдүктү төмөндөтөт. Мындан улам оройлукту эмгек өндүрүмдүүлүгүнүн келишпес душманы деп атасак болот. Этикет табиятынан эле бири-бири менен тең болбогон, мисалы улуттук, социалдык, жыныстык абалы, психологиялык жашкырактык өзгөчөлүктөрү, көз карашы, билим деңгээли боюнча сыяктуу параметрлер боюнча ушу өнөктөш адамдардын карым-катнашын камсыздайт. Ошондуктан этикет бул дайыма эки тарапка тең ыңгайлуу шартта түзүлгөн компромисс. Этикет адамдарга акыл-насааттардын чытырман токойуна адашып кетиш үчүн эмес, тескерисинче ар түрдүү кырдаалдардан, адамдар ортосундагы карым-катнаштын лабиринттеринен адышпай, туура жолду таап алыш үчүн Ариаднанын жиби сыяктуу кызмат өтөйт. Этикетти сактоо бардык кесиптин өкүлдөрүнө өз профессионалдык ишмердигинде ийгиликке жетишүүгө мүмкүндүк берет. Ар бир адис элдин кеңири катмары менен, мисалы коллегалары, жүрө жолдоштору, бейтаныш адамдар менен өз коллективинде жана максаткар жерлерде карап-катнаш кылат. Ал канчалык этикеттелер мыкты билсе, анын профессионалдык ишмердиги ошончолук ийгиликтүү болот. Жакын адамдары жана жолдоштору менен болгон мамиледе өзүн ыңгайлуу жана ишенимсиз сезет. Этикетти билүү башка адамдар менен болгон мамиледе катачылыктарды кетирбегенге мүмкүндүк берет. Ийгиликтүү жашоого жана карап-катнашка кеңири жол ачат. Этикет иштеги ийгиликке өтө маани берген бизнес чөйрөсүндө этикет философиялык түшүнүктөн экономикалык категория сыпатына трансформация болду десек болот. Ал ишкерлик мамилелерге гармония орнотуп, иштин, анын ичинде бизнестин эффективдүүлүгүн жогорулатат. Сыпайы маанилардын таңкыстыгы мекеме, уюмдардагы моралдык, психологиялык климатка терс таасирин тийгизип, адамдар ортосундагы карап-катнашта дискомфорт, нервоздуулук пайда кылып, конфликттүүлүк жогорулайт. Туура эмес жүрүм-турумдан же тарбиясыздан улам жыл сайын канча акча текке кетип, канча адамдын карьерасына доо кетип, канчалаган келишимдерге кол коюлбай жатканын айтуу кыйын. Ушуну туура түшүнүп, маселен, Японияда сыпайы маселелери боюнча жылына $700 миллион акчаны сарпташат. Бул Ягердин 94-жылы чыккан эмгегинде аркылуу белгилүү. Анын натыйжасы көз көрүнө болуп, ал тууралуу ар бир кадамыңды эсептеген биздин алдыңкы мезгилде ишкер чөйрөлөрдө сылыктык өтө жогору баалана баштады. Америкалык өндүрүшчүнүн айтышы боюнча, ал япондор менен мамиле кылгандан ырахат алат. Себеби япондор ишкер, мээнеткеч, сылык жана өз маектешин уга билишет. Өзүңөр байкагандай, сылыктык, анын ичинде маектешин уга билүү деле ишкер сапаттардын катарында санала баштаган деп белгиленет. Жыйынтыктап айтканда, ишкер же кызматтык этикетти мыкты билүү, практикада колдонуу ар бир адамдын кесиптик ишмердүүлүгүндө барган сайын маанилүү фактор болуп баратат. Албетте этикет эрежелерин билүү, адамдын кесип даярдыгы жана зарыл болгон ишкерлик касиеттери болбогон учурда деле ийгиликке жеткизет деп эч ким кепилдик бербейт. Сылык сүйлөп, сыпайы жүрүп турган үчүн эле жумушка албашы аштан бышык. Бирок этикет эрежелерин сактоо, аткаруу адамдын ийгиликке жетүү шансын жогорулатат. Ушуну менен билдирүүм соңуна чыкты. Teşekkür ederim.
Rica ederiz. Biz de teşekkür ederiz Aman Bey. Kamitoviç, teşekkür ederiz değerli fikirlerinizden dolayı. Okay, now we have let me check. Okay, Professor Dr. Mr. Hamuda. Mr. Hamuda. Mr. Hamuda.
Katılmadı galiba.
Katılmadı.
Hocamız katılamadı.
Okay.
Evet.
Okay. Okay. Now, Miss Patil, can we listen to you now if you are ready? Miss Patil.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you can start if you're ready. Now.
Okay.
So 1 minute I am sharing. Share please.
Yes.
Share कीजिए.
मेरा पढ़ने वाला.
Slides. Yes.
Good evening to one and
Good
all.
evening.
Myself,
Okay.
Dr. Reena Patil, Gyanoday Mahavidyalaya, Devi Ahilya University, Indore, India. I am very thankful to organize in Imascon 2021 for giving the opportunity to present India in this August meet. I am going to share my views on coronavirus pandemic and present social scenario. As we are aware of the pandemic outbreak of COVID-19, the people across the globe has to be aware that has been caused by SARS-CoV-2 coronavirus. SARS-CoV-2 is highly contagious and often lead to several viral pneumonia with respiratory failure and death in the elderly, the subject with pre-existing conditions. The fatal rate of COVID-19 going exponentially to many countries like Italy, Spain, South Korea, China, USA, with the doubling time, the coronavirus outbreak come to light on December 31st, 2009, when China informed the World Health Organization of a cluster of cases pneumonia is unknown case Wuhan city. So what is COVID-19? It is an acronym that stands for Coronavirus Disease of 2019. The name was given by the World Health Organization (WHO) on February 11, 2020 for the disease caused by the novel coronavirus COVID-2. Most people infected with the COVID-19 virus will experience mild to moderate respiratory illness and record without requiring special treatment. Older people and those with underlying medical problem like diabetes, chronic respiratory disease and cancer are more likely to develop serious illness. According to a record report, more than 97% of people who contract SARS-CoV-2 show symptoms within 11.5 days exposed. The average incubation period seemed to be around 5 days. However, this estimate may change as we learn more about the virus. The incubation period of COVID-19 is up to 14 days. Subsequently, the disease spread to more provinces in China and the rest of the world. The WHO has now declared in a pandemic. The virus has been named SARS-CoV-2 and the disease is now called COVID-19. The section briefly discussed possible models of transmission of SARS-CoV-2, including contact, droplet, airborne, mother to child, and animals to human transmission infection with SARS-CoV-2. Primary cause respiratory illness ranging from mild disease to severe disease and death. And some people infected with the virus never developed symptoms. And here too you can see the COVID-19 timeline increase in case from 31st December to 10 April. And this is the graph. You see that descriptively in the changing day by day with doubling of case with time. Here to total number of COVID-19 according to age group and health status. The maximum recovery rate of COVID is around 25 to 29 age group. And the coronavirus 19 test a viral test tell you if you have a current infection. Two types of viral tests can be used: nucleic acid application test and anti-test. An antibody test, also known as the serology test, might tell you if you had the past infection. Antibody test should not be used to diagnose the current infection. For prevent spreading with need to wear an anti-tide mask and use sanitize at least 70% alcohol to have 6 feet social distancing. In India, there is two types of vaccination are there: co-vaccine and Covishield. And the COVID-19 pandemic has created the largest descriptive of education system in human history, affecting near 1/6 billion learners in more than 200 countries of school, institution and other learning space have impact more than 94% of the world student populations. This is brought for rising change in all the aspects of our life: social distancing and accessibility movement policies, and significant disturb traditional education practice happening and social schools after relaxation and restriction. Another challenge with many new stand appearing put in place. The virus infection globalized affect the human health and the considered in limit fact for the further level development. The submission extensively highlight important technology parameters which can be used the effective progress uh, and control staging. The consortium, the coronavirus, will be conducted to make worldwide network for sharing knowledge and technology beyond barriers, the compact all kind of coronavirus challenging more effectively. We hope and pray to all good pandemic situation will be under control very soon. Thank you.
You're welcome, Ms. Patel, for your valuable knowledge and information you have shared us today. As you are from a country where coronavirus is seen at a very high level in India, isn't it, Ms. Patel? India is in a very critical situation now. Almost every day, 4,000 people getting leaving their let's say lives. Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Patel, for your speech.
Sorry, I have a question. Is it possible?
Sorry?
Sorry, I have a question to Ms. Patel. Is it possible?
Sure.
Wonderful. First of all, good evening to all of you. Dear Ms. Patel, thank you very much for your presentation. And I wanted to know what type of test generally you use in India. You use PCR or you use do you use antigen test?
Two type test available.
Excuse me?
Hello. Both type of tests we are using here in India. Hello, madam. Hello.
RT-PCR.
RT-PCR as well as the both tests we are using in India.
Is that okay, Ms. Smocho? Is that okay? Have you got any other questions to Ms. Patel?
I apologize, but I didn't hear answer, Ms. Patel.
You couldn't get the answer. Sorry. I think she has said about PCR.
PCR, okay.
As I understood well. Okay, thank you very much for your...
Sorry, I simply didn't hear because enough bad connection. I apologize.
Okay. Okay, now I would like to give the microphone to Ms. Vandana. Now, how are you today? Are you fine, Ms. Vandana?
Yes, fine, sir. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. Okay, you are. Where are you joining our Congress? From where you are joining the Congress?
From Chandigarh, sir, India.
India. Okay. Another guest from India. Okay, now we are listening to you.
Okay, sir. So first I want to share my PPT, my slides. I'm sharing the screen, sir. Yeah, I'm sharing the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So my screen is shared properly, sir, now?
We are waiting.
Okay, sir, I'm trying. Wait, give me 1 second only.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, we can see now.
Okay, sir. Oh, yeah, it's visible now, sir?
Okay, very nice.
Okay, so. So greetings of the day to everyone. I, Dr. Vandagam from India. We feel very honored and grateful to present as a keynote speaker and present my views in front of you. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me such a platform. So basically, as a mathematician, I am trying to connect some mathematical topic of mine with this coronavirus context. Am I audible, sir? Hello, am I audible?
Hello?
Hello, sir, am I audible?
Yes, you go ahead.
Okay,
We
fine.
can hear you.
Okay, fine, sir. Thank you. So we know that the whole world is fighting with the intruder called COVID-19, or if I say it's COVID-20, it's not wrong to say, because it again hits the country again with the back-to-back second year. So the most highlighting thing that I want to share with in this year 21 is that the significance and highlights of the underrated significance of most of the efficient professionals of the countries, like doctors, teachers, and professional staff, etc. So teachers and professional staff play a very important role in this corona time, as education is the that part only which suffered a lot due to this. So now, instead of such a crisis, the timeless contribution which these professionals have accomplished is highly appreciable. So being a teacher of mathematician, being an educator, so we know that mathematics is related to every field. If we want to relate mathematics with economics, you can relate. If you want to relate mathematics with statistics, you can relate. So because this is the current scenario of COVID-19, so I am presenting my one of the topic of basic algebra that I try to connect with my PPT through set theory, relation, and functions. So as I know here we are providing with such a platform where different professors from different countries, different fields join together and make education academically successful attempt to nullify the effectiveness of the novel coronavirus. So if I say that I relate my mathematical topic with statistics, it's very much common. If I say with permutation combination, then again it's very much common. If I say I relate with some applied mathematics, again then it's very much common. Applied mathematics is common topic. But if I say I started from very basic concept, that is my basic algebra. If once I said basic algebra, one should click in his or mind basic algebra. Yes, basic algebra means set, relation, and function that is very easily and understandable by every age group. So what is sets? Sets basically is simply a sequence of arrangements of a different people in a particular manner. That's set. And relation, if we want to relate that members, and function if we express graphically as that is shown in my slide. So now if I say in context to this conference or this event, what is set, relation, and function, we all are together in one platform presenting ourselves in front of delegates. So that is set because we all are related to single one chain, that is my presentation and my event. So after that, if I say relation, how we are related, we never know each other, but still we are related because we are simply related to education system. We are educationalists. We all are here to share our views regarding education and COVID-19. And functions, if I functionally, digitally connecting you, that is my function. So in this manner, I tried to express this thing. So once I say that the deadly coronavirus continues to spread across the globe, and mathematical models can be used to show suspected, recovered, and diseased coronavirus patients, as well as how many people have been tested. So researchers still do not know definitely whether this coronavirus infection is fixed, gaining for how long. Still we are searching for the same. So in order to understand, we use different methods, follow techniques, and practically also trying. As well as educationalists in the field of mathematics, I again saying the same word, mathematics develop a model which is dynamical with the dynamical behavior, which is very much understandable by every field. So if I say nullifying the effectiveness, nullifying means we never nullify the coronavirus. It's spreading all over the world. So nullifying means I'm trying to change the concept with my mathematical model. Here is the presentation where I shown some functional relations, school level, private level, teaching level, and where here we have primary level, higher level, secondary level, and then again I have daily, monthly. These are the modes that teachers prefer while taking online classes. It's not possible to interact the students physically. It's not possible to understand the students physically what they want. They read their brain. It is not possible from past 2 years. So online teaching is a digital media is the most appropriate manner in which we successfully handle the students. And for modes that we use, the modes are taking daily classes, having monthly tests, assignments, and having such a presentations or projects given to the students, which they present on digitally via Skype, via WhatsApp, and via other mediums. So if I compile once, I say, thank you everyone for giving me such a great platform where I can express myself in front of you in context to my topic. I tried, but I don't know whether it's properly or not, but still I tried my topic to be related with in context of coronavirus. So thank you so much. If you have any queries, please ask me.
Oh, thank you so much, Ms. Garg. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Ms. Garg from India. Ms. Garg has developed a mathematical, let's say, method because
yes.
she is a mathematician in India. I have very understand that very clearly. I think she is the, let's say, grouped. She has named some of the facts in a graph, in a mathematics graph. That's very significant for me. Thank you very much, Ms. Garg, for your presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now I would like to give the microphone to Ms. Smoko. If I please forgive me if I mispronounce your name and surname. Ms. Smoko or Smocho is.
Good afternoon again, Ludmila.
Okay.
Simochko, yes.
Ludmila. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, we are listening to you. If you are ready. I think there's an internet connection problem.
Yes, I think so. Some problem with connection, but I hope that will be possible to make my presentation. Just a moment. I will try to share my presentation. Moment. Just a moment. Now presentation download.
Can you see arrow icon in your bottom of screen, Ludmila?
Just a moment, yes. Yes, I'm
arrow,
trying.
Arrow icon, bottom screen.
I don't know why it's not possible. I will try.
Arrow, yes. Bottom screen.
Moment.
Which button do you see?
Just
okay. Can you see?
I don't know why it's not possible to.
Which buttons?
Here's I have button for sharing my presentation. Yes.
Yes.
And I'm using it. And
Bir şey sorayım. Birinci video mu geldi?
I apologize. Is my presentation visible now?
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Okay, we can see your presentation now.
Okay, and just a moment, I will try this from beginning.
Hocam interneti zayıf. Tamam. Hocam internet bağlantısı oluştu. Lütmila Hoca'da.
Tamam, ne yapalım?
İsterseniz bir sonraki hocamıza hangi söz verebilirsiniz?
Tamam. Tamam. There's an internet connection problem. Because of this problem, now I want to make a change about the presentation speakers. Now, is Professor Dr. Hussam Bayomi here? Hussam Bayomi is absent. Mr. Of, is he absent?
Yok galiba. Dönüşte yapmadı. Gelemedi herhalde.
Okay. Associated Professor Dr. Mahbub Nagar Badvi from India. Can we listen to you?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I hope you're fine.
Yeah, fine. We are very fine now here.
Very nice, very nice. Okay. If you are ready, you can start your presentation.
Yes, yes, I can start it. I am from the region which is badly hit by this pandemic. That is in Maharashtra. I am from Pune. This Pune is badly hit by this pandemic. Now this situation is somewhat better. Okay, now we are discussing. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, now we are discussing this COVID-19 during 2020-2021. Now, I am very sorry, initially so sorry, because nobody is left untouched in this pandemic. It is one miserable story like another. How much you can do? How much you can protect yourself? But some of us need to discuss this hard data. We must clearly understand that Some of this might be unavoidable, but some of these are clearly avoidable. We have to clearly understand that why we are in this situation today. We could have avoided some of these. I'm talking about what mistakes we did in the past during the lockdown or before, or the misery we created. I'm talking about which is clearly avoidable. The misery we created in second wave, okay, we could not have avoided the second wave, but the misery may be much, much less. I tell you why. Because we have a vaccine now. India had badly hit by second wave and did not have in last year. But luckily, we could not convert that luck. Luckily, we could not convert, I'm repeating this one, but luckily, we could not convert that luck. I'm telling you why. Vaccine came in March 2021. The dates are very important here. When many vaccines are approved, are existing in the world, in January 21, you can take one example of non-tech, which is started making a vaccine. March 2020, company called Fosun Pharma of China put around 1,000 crores in non-tech. They get vaccine approved, and now China is using that. In April 2020, Pfizer put 150 million. In June 2020, European Union put. In September 2020, Germany put 500 million. I'm not advocating any vaccine company. All the vaccines are good. Moderna have the same story. People partnered up. Europe, US, China, they all partnered up in between March and September 2020. Therefore, once the vaccine came up, it is available for them. They have enough vaccine and they distributed and vaccinated their people. And what we are doing that time? In March, we are banging plates, clapping hands, we are putting on mobile tops. June 2020, we are busy in Sushant case. September, we are busy in Hollywood. We feel this is funny. This is what the top headlines of these newspapers. This is what's shaking the nation every night. During this time, all over the world, people are putting their money in this vaccine and securing supply. But we did not. By dumb luck, Serum Institute, which has a deal with AstraZeneca, not to develop vaccine, but to manufacture a billion doses for them. So Serum Institute, a private entity, Adar Punawala, he had a deal with them. He said, okay, I make a billion doses for you, and a little bit, about 10%, I will keep for India. That's it. That is the only deal a private Serum Institute, which is also from Pune only, and that is the few doses we are getting now, and they are using for senior citizens. India did not collaborate with any vaccine company. You are making them for them billions of doses, make for us at least million. No, nothing sort of things happened in 2020. Our attitude was let them make. कुछ ना कुछ जुगाड़ हो जाएगा. That is the mentality. And we did not pay attention to that. In December 2020, vaccine gets approved. Pfizer came to India. It applied for the approval. And we gave them long list of homework. Okay, sometimes we can say it is justified. We know that time Europe has given approval for many for that. Many countries are also given approval for that. I'm not talking about only that Pfizer. So many countries has given approval to them. Our mentality was nothing will happen to us. In February, you know what happened? Pfizer came out. Initially, he was applied for the approval. Due to the long homework, he came out. He said, we did not want approval. Same thing happened with AstraZeneca, Moderna, all other pharma companies, top 7 pharma companies. Luckily, Serum kept small portion for us so that some of the senior citizens got that dose. If you think what is the reason behind this, that is, we don't believe in science. We believe in what is in some, because India is a multicultural country. Everybody is having their own faith. They believe in that. In part of that, some history. Science, by definition, what we say, science, we say, we do not know. We need to discover. If we have a science mind, we say, we do not know. We need to discover. We need to find out. And therefore, 7 top pharma companies searching for the vaccines. We need to partner up. And we need to respect them. And what work they have done. Instead of saying they all are capitalists. We don't understand capital. We don't understand science. Now people are coming towards us, and now we are saying, now we are moving towards this Swadeshi. No doubt, it is good. It is good vaccine. But within a day, you cannot make any vaccine. Something like basic oxygen is not available in India. People are dying. Everybody knows it. It is not so complicated. No homework was done after the first year. You know, population 140 crores we are. Okay. For example, you can take to vaccinate 100 crore, we need 200 crore doses. 200 crore doses, Serum is giving us hardly 10 crore. Some days back, order is given for 10-15 crore. It is an order placed now. We did not get. Even though if we combine that with the Serum, it becomes 20 to 25 crore. Still, it is not close to 200 crore. We don't know how a small Bharat Biotech will supply, because its production is 30 crore per year. We need within 3 months 200 crores. After lots of pressure, we send them some money for the expansion. Initially, I thought, what is there in discussing such things? People will start laughing. When we need 200 crore doses in a short time, we have to pay for that. Even at the cost of lockdown, at the cost of people getting sick, at the cost of death, that is alone cannot calculable. Even if you consider the cost of lockdown, it is so much. Even the best vaccine we got it. 200 crore, that is 2 billion. The best vaccine, Pfizer or any other vaccine, is $15 per dose. Not tomorrow. Of course, we have to book. Even though it is not exceeding 30 billion, we have 580 billion as a reserve. What is the use of that? If we don't vaccinate, cases will go on increasing. That will put pressure on medical staff, paramedical staff, oxygen cylinders, ventilators. Everything will be a shock. But all these are the firefighters. They are controlled. The only solution for this one, I think, is the vaccination. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pak. Thank you.
Is that okay, Mr. Nagar Bawade?
Yes, yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much for your valuable information. Then thank you for joining our congress, and we hope you will join the sessions in the next in the following congresses in the future, and we hope the COVID-19 period will go over and finish, and as soon as we get the healthier days in the shortest time, we hope that. Thank you again, Mr. Mahbub Nagar Baude. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, Miss Ludmila, are you okay now? Now, okay, we are again here. You are again here.
Yes, I apologize for technical problems. I'm
no problem
now, and I hope my internet will work. Sorry, please.
Okay, no problem. Are you ready for the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, now we are listening to you.
Moment.
Now you can start your presentation.
Yes, I'm trying. Just a moment. I'm trying to open. Moment. Just a moment. So, okay, now my presentation is. Hello.
Hello, yes, we are listening. There is no problem. We are listening to you.
Presentation visible?
No, not yet. Not yet. I think it has been connected now.
Is my presentation visible now?
No, we can't see it now.
Just a moment. Is my presentation visible now? Please check.
Okay, now it's okay. Now I
It's
can see
okay.
the front page now.
Okay. So I hope finally we will start. So it's okay, now you can see my presentation, yes?
Yes, I can see, and it says structural and functional successions of soil microbiome in the forest ecosystems.
Yes, wonderful. So, dear colleagues, I apologize again for technical problems. Today, I would like to present our investigation about soil microbiome in forest ecosystems. So, soil is an indicator of global climate change, and the atmospheric carbon dioxide of about 80% has a soil origin, and among the dioxide of carbon streams entering the atmosphere, the emissions from the soil surface is one of the most powerful. Therefore, evaluation of functional role of soil cover and soil microorganism in the biosphere is considered as a priority task due to the urgency of the problem of climate change and the conservation of soil resources. Climate change is a threat to the Carpathian Mountains. Over the past decades, summer temperatures have increased by as much 2.4 degrees by Celsius in some parts of Carpathians, with an increase in the frequency and intensity of heat waves. Climate has one of the greatest effects on soil microbiota and also on soil microbial activities, and the forests are expected to face significant pressure in the future from climate change. Important parameter of the soil microbiome are the number and functional diversity of microorganisms, including soil respiration. If we will analyze climate impact on soil microbiome, it could be indirect effect and direct effects. So indirect effects on the activities of soil microorganisms that feed back greenhouse gases, the atmosphere, and contribute to global warming. If we will consider direct effects, it includes the influence on soil microbes and greenhouse gas production of temperature, changing precipitation, and extreme climatic events. Purpose of our studies was the next. We monitored microbiological properties in 7 forest sites over a period of 10 years. Soil samples were collected in the late spring and autumn and were characterized by measuring biomass of soil microorganisms, respiration, enzyme activities, also diversity of soil microbiome, and except that, we also investigated a soil resistance in natural ecosystem. Primeval forest situated in Carpathian Biosphere Reserve, and we choose different plots at on different altitude about sea level. And monitoring studies of the emission of carbon dioxide from sodium-podzolic soils and analysis of soil microbiome were conducted from 2008 to 2018. Microbiological analysis of soil conducted with standard methods and antibiotic resistance we determined by Kirby-Bauer method, and we use it for that 12 antibiotics of different pharmacological groups. Primeval forest as ethanol ecosystems that combine above resistance and stability with high productivity, biomass. Therefore, the virgin forest reliably indicates the direction restoration of disturbed ecosystem and can be a good indicator of climate changes. Virgin forests are essential for the conservation of biological and genetic diversity, and they reserve the relict and endemic species of flora and fauna, and also microbiota. Here is on the map. Is a map visible, dear colleagues? Hello.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
We are watching.
I'm glad. So we choose 7 sites, 7 different plots for our investigation at different altitude. We started from the altitude 500 meters above sea level to 1,100 meters above sea level. And everywhere vegetation was Fagetum sylvatica. Except structure, soil microbiome, we also determined some functional parameters such as emission from the soil carbon dioxide. And one of the most widely discussed contribution of soil microorganisms to climate change is their role in soil organic matter decomposition. Well established that temperature is an important determinant of rates of organic matter decomposition, and the nature of relationship between temperature and heterotrophic microbial respiration, its potential to feedback to climate change are far from clear. The results of our research have shown that intensity of carbon dioxide emission from the soil of forest ecosystem over the last 10 years has increased by 30%. So it's enough high percentage as for 10 years. And in this table, you can see results of our investigation that we did in 2008. We determined structure of a microbial community in forest ecosystem. We determined such ecological trophic groups as micromycetes, ammonifiers, oligotrophs, pedotrophs, bacteria using mineral forms of nitrogen, and also nitrogen-fixing bacteria. And as you can see from this table, with altitude, decreased number nitrogen-fixing bacteria and ammonifiers. But instead of that, increased number of oligotrophs and pedotrophs. So how changed structure of microbial community after 10 years? After 10 years, structure of microbial community also changed. So we can say that not only functional parameters, but also structure of soil microbiome changed after 10 years. First of all, I want to pay attention for nitrogen-fixing bacteria. So content of nitrogen-fixing bacteria decreased at 15%. But instead of that, in compare with our investigation, what we did in 2008, increased number of oligotrophs and pedotrophs. Except that they also determined such parameter as phytotoxical activity in virgin beech forest. Toxic forms of microorganisms found in all types of soil. And the genera Bacillus and Pseudomonas are more often among the bacteria and among micromycetes, Penicillium and Fusarium. Phytotoxins that formed by soil microorganisms belong to different groups of chemical compounds. And the maximum level of soil phytotoxical activity in 2008 was at 8 of 1,100 meters above sea level. You can see on this figure that now that level of phytotoxicity was 22%. But it's very interesting to see how changed this parameter after 10 years. And as you can see, it's green column. After 10 years, this parameter significantly increased, practically in twice. Phytotoxical activity, it's a parameter with what we use, I mean ecologists and microbiologists, to determine ecological status of ecosystems. I mean ecological status of soil. So as you can see from this...
sorry, Miss Ludmila. Sorry, I think Mr. Gilpatrick has a question.
Sorry, but I didn't finish my presentation.
Okay, you can go on. Okay, sorry.
I don't have a question. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I misunderstood. Sorry. Okay.
No problem. I think when I will finish my presentation, we will have a very interesting discussion with Professor Gilbert, if I'm not mistaken. So the World Health Organization has identified antibiotic resistance as a serious threat for human health across the world. The widespreading of antibiotic resistance microorganisms connected to increased amount of infectious and non-communicable human disease is actual multidisciplinary problem. And the European Commission and FAO, Food Agricultural Organization, identified that environmental risk connected with climate changes. And especially now, then we have problem with COVID and this problem on a global level. The problem with antibiotic resistance will be more serious in the future, and antibiotic resistance will spread more intensively than before, because we know that especially on the beginning of this pandemic, antibiotics were widely used for treatment of COVID. I mean, in protocols in 2020, in medical protocols. Now it's little bit changed, but I think problem with antibiotic resistance only will be more stronger in the future. And that is why we decided to investigate soil resistance. If we will analyze what is soil resistance, because it's like new term in ecology or microbiology. It's a number of antibiotic resistant bacteria in soil microbiome that can play also a significant role for spreading of antibiotic resistance also in human organism. The results of our monitoring studies have shown that climate change is one of the factors in the formation of the soil resistance and the spread of antibiotic-resistant microorganisms, and not only in transformed but also in natural ecosystems. And here is results of our investigation about antibiotic-resistant bacteria. So the study of soil samples from the primeval beech forest have showed that the microbial community characterized by a low content of antibiotic-resistant microorganisms in 2008, and only 4 strains among 18 isolated bacteria have demonstrated a high level of resistance to antibiotics. And in 2018, the number of antibiotic-resistant bacteria has increased in 3 times. In natural conditions from the soil of ecosystem were isolated mostly bacteria of genus Bacillus and pathogens and opportunistic pathogens of family Enterobacteriaceae. All of them are antibiotic resistant and can cause some human disease. If in this table you can see results and difference between these results 10 years. If in 2008 they isolated 18 antibiotic-resistant bacteria, and four of them characterized by high level of antibiotic resistance. So in 2018, we had 12 bacteria that characterized high level of antibiotic resistance. Of course, if you will compare with transformed ecosystem, for example, with agro ecosystems, we also investigated, or urban ecosystem, this number is not big, not higher in compare with content of antibiotic-resistant bacteria in transformed ecosystems. But also number of antibiotic-resistant bacteria changed, and number of bacteria increased. And we think that climate changes, first of all, impact on structure of soil microbiome, and also on structure of soil resistance. So the question, do microbial biodiversity lose due to climate change? Soil biomass and phylogenetic diversity are markers of succession process in the soil microbiome. Endogenous heterotrophic successions cause increasing biomass of oligotrophic bacteria and decreasing phylogenetic diversity. After 10 years, fluctuation of microbial diversity at different altitudes was the same. But it should be noted that in 2008, Shannon index fluctuated within 4.54 to 10.10. But after 10 years, the values of this index decreased in average of 15% and ranged from 3.45 at altitude 500 meters above sea level to 1.72 at altitude 1,100 meters above sea level. So, as we can see, microbial biodiversity, soil microbial biodiversity changed with the altitude. With altitude, microbial biodiversity decreased, but also after 10 years, generally, soil microbial biodiversity also decreased. And conclusion. Soil microbial communities are extremely diverse, and one of the greatest challenges concerns understanding how microbial diversity responds to climate change and the functional consequence of those, of this ecosystem carbon exchange, including the uptake, stabilization, and release of carbon from soil as greenhouse gas. The intensity of carbon dioxide emission from the soil or forest ecosystem for the last 10 years has increased by 30%. The results of our monitoring studies have shown that climate change is one of the factors in the formation of the soil resistome and the spread of antibiotic-resistant microorganisms in the natural ecosystem. Soil microbiome of primeval forest ecosystem characterized by a low content of antibiotic-resistant microorganisms in 2008, and in 2018, the number of antibiotic-resistant bacteria has increased in 3 times. So climate change is leading to the loss of soil microbial diversity and increasing of spread of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. So thank you very much for your attention, and I will be very happy to answer on questions, and I hope it will be an interesting discussion.
I think you have studied some of the parts of the Carpathian Mountains or the neighboring forests in Ukraine or the neighboring countries, Ms. Ludmila.
You
have
asked
studied.
Yes, yes. We investigated Carpathian mountings only in Ukraine. We didn't investigate. We didn't make investigation in Slovakia or other countries. Only in Ukraine.
Okay. Do you know anything about the prevention or the precautions your government have, or they have some plans for the prevention of this problem?
It's a huge problem, not only for Ukraine. You mean spreading of antibiotic-resistant bacteria, or do you mean climate changes?
Climate change, yes. Okay.
Climate changes. The both of those problems have exist on global level, and it's really a huge like challenge, not only for our country but also for other European countries. Yes, we joined to some international programs about protection of climate change, but really it's a serious problem, and it's necessary to decide not only on regional level, but also on global level. Exist many different international programs, and Ukraine also joined to these programs about stop this moment.
Problem.
Stop
problem. Okay.
Is effect of greenhouses of emission of greenhouses gases.
Okay, sure. It is not a problem of the Ukraine only. It is about the humanity problem. All
Yes,
over the world, it is our all our problem. Thank you very much, Ms. Ludmila, for your presentation about the. Sorry.
Yes, welcome. And Professor Gilbert wanted to ask me some questions. Where is Professor?
Yes, sure. Mr. Gilpatrick, can you hear me? Mr. Gilpatrick, can you hear me, please? Maybe he has left the session. Maybe.
Unfortunately, I hope that we will have interesting discussion, but unfortunately. Thank you very much for your attention. I apologize again for technical problems, and thank you very much for your questions.
No problem about internet disconnection, because it is about internet. Everyone can have the same problem. Thank you so much for joining the session and the Congress. And I thank all of you, my colleagues, for your presentations, for your joining this Congress. I thank you again and give our greetings to your families and to your country. Mustafa Hocam, buyurun, söz sizde.
Teşekkür ederim İsmail Hocam. Thank you for your support, and especially with pandemic days, you participate and support. Thank you again. Thank you for your family, and you. See you next Congress, which we will be live. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Hocam bağlantılar koptu galiba. Thank you very much. Hocam hoşça kal. Aman Bek hocam. Hoşça kalın. Sağlam